All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's live call-in show. This is the show where you get the intervention you need to blow right past those obstacles that stand in your way. All right, I want to welcome everyone to the show. I am your host and founder of nichebot X since 2004, Jim Morris, and let me tell you real quickly why I created this show for Gold and Platinum users. First of all, a lot of people tend, especially as real popular with men, we tend to blow right past and not look at any instruction manuals, so we blow right past the quick start guide. That really is the foundation, and there's other great training materials in the training section of nichebot. So the content here is also customized towards you every week. So instead of just throwing stuff at you, we make sure to answer your questions and take care of your particular scenarios, because everyone's scenario is different. Everyone's building different type of websites, and there's always different issues that come up. And really, this show is about getting clarity and really about having breakthroughs. I know myself, it took me many years for me to get breakthroughs. I didn't have any type of platform like this, and that's why it's important for me to provide this for the users. And honestly, I learned this through years of experience, is that breakthroughs come with repeated exposure to using techniques that work. But it's not until you really use it over and over until you start gleaning some sort of distinguishing differences of what you may be doing wrong until finally something works. Now, there will be a replay of the show from the live show directory over at nichebot.com/live show. And actually, you could just go ahead inside the members area and click the live show. It'll take you to the blog area, and there is a link there that will take you to the previous episodes. Now, I want you to share my epiphany, and my epiphany came in 2004 when I truly discovered the power of backlinks. And what I'm talking about, and of course this ties in very much with using your keyword phrases that you find in your research in the backlinks that you get to your site. A backlink is simply a link that points in towards your existing site that you're trying to promote through website promotion, and that is like a powerful vote in the eyes of Google for you to get ranked for that specific keyword phrase. And this is basically what it looks like on the screen. Basically, you want to put your keyword phrase right between here whenever you write an article and submit it to an article directory, whenever you do a third-party blog post, whenever you do some type of guest blogging, or even in your signature file of where you might be a member of a forum. So you want to make sure to use your keyword phrase, and it wasn't until 2004, it took me really 3 years to kind of uncover this, because there's just so much information on the internet that you could get lost in it. And back in 2004, I used reciprocal linking to get backlinks and to nichebot and some other of my sites. And you'll find that a lot of this stuff is still very relevant today. A lot of people say reciprocal linking doesn't work. Well, anything works if you put enough effort into it. But of course, if you get links from sites that are just of low quality, obviously it's not going to work. So it's all about, when you get backlinks to your site, it's all about quality. So really, this is really the most powerful type of website promotion you can do to your site, besides doing your keyword research as well as creating your content. The next step after that is getting backlinks to your site. Now, you should find whatever style of inbound links is suitable for you. And I want to just say that getting inbound links, like I just said, always will trump content on your page. You can get backlinks to your page using that keyword phrase that you're targeting and actually rank very poor content, even little content. If you've ever been on a site like Sony.com that had nothing but a flash a flash movie. And a flash movie basically is no content because the search engine can't read a video. So how can a flash video get ranked in Google with absolutely no content on it? Well, it's through the backlinks pointing to that site that Sony somehow created, either through their sister sites or partnerships with other people, exchanging content and so on and so forth. Now, we're not going to cover inbound links, and I just wanted to share my epiphany with you because I think it's incredibly important. It's pinnacle. I think it'll change if you're not doing any type of way of getting back inbound links or backlinks to your site. This is really what's going to propel you forward in what in your results in getting top search engine rankings. And I gather if you're not concentrating on Google AdWords, where you're paying for keyword phrases and to get traffic, then you're obviously gearing your site towards getting free traffic. So if you want to learn about different types of link building strategies, just go ahead and type Link Building Strategies 2011 in quotes in Google for additional ways to get backlinks. And you'll see a number of different articles right on the first page that will give you a good idea of what type of current backlinking strategies there are, and pick one that's suitable to you. So like I said, the show is about getting clarity and breakthroughs. So let's go ahead and go in real quickly the ground rules of the call, and then we can go into answering any questions that come in. And today we're also going to be talking about some interesting changes that have taken place over the last couple of weeks. And nichebot has actually been going through a number of drastic user interface changes over the last couple of months, which is kind of why we have not updated the training videos, which are in the process of being updated right now. And they should be updated this coming up month in November, and that's actually when we'll be introducing the next version of nichebot, which is nichebot version 4. So let's quickly cover the ground rules for this call. So right now, everyone is muted on the line. And if you have a question, just go ahead and ask a question anytime during this webinar through your panel to the right. There's a panel up there. That's your way of communicating with me, raising your hand, so on and so forth. If you want to have a live chat, in front of your question, just put the words live chat, and that will be a signal to me so I can unmute you on the line. Now, I will go from anywhere from about 60 to 90 minutes, and that, of course, depends on the number of questions and my energy and resources at the time. Right now, I'm kind of going through this stomach flu thing, so I am kind of weak, but I'm sure I could go at least 45 minutes to 60 minutes today. And once I get into the groove of things, I usually can go way, way beyond. I just start getting into the groove and forget, time gets lost. So go ahead and submit your questions right now, and I can go ahead and answer them in the order that they are submitted. And in the meantime, while you go ahead and pose your questions, I'm going to go ahead and go into nichebot right now. And actually, I can just go ahead and bring up the screen right now. There we go. And this is the main member control area, which you see right when you log in. And we just actually simplified this whole area with an accordion menu. And if you see here, just want to make sure, I think you should be seeing this. Let me go ahead and make sure that everyone can see this screen that I'm seeing right now. Okay. Yeah, I think everyone should be seeing the nichebot screen right now. Okay, I just made sure to isolate it to this screen right now. Okay, so basically you've got the weekly live shows right here. Now we'll take you to the blog, which also gives you access to the archives area through there. Okay, so let's talk about real quickly kind of what of the updates that recently occurred. And one of the things that's really helpful when it comes down to really organizing your keywords into categories, because sometimes when you look at your keywords in the keyword briefcase, as we're at right now, when you're looking at your list of keywords, they're sort of all, you can either sort them according to volume, search count, competition, that sort of stuff. Okay, so here we've got a Google Cruncher list of keywords. We've got the keyword here. We can sort alphabetically by keyword. We can sort by search count. We can, which is what it is sorted by right now, as you can see by the arrow right here that points down. It's telling us that it's sorting by highest search count down to the lowest in ascending order, or I should say in descending order. And then we've got the competition, which we can also sort that column. We can sort the CPC column. This is the trend, basically the actual Google trend of that particular keyword. And then we've got the KEI, which is calculated through using the search count in the competition, and the ratio, which is just a slightly different way of calculating the search and the competition. Some people use KEI, some people use the ratio. Now, as I was saying, sometimes when you're looking at this stuff, you want to know the certain themes that your keywords are in. So basically right now, as you can see, we've got a number of different categories here. I'm going to go ahead and take an older list of keywords. My apology here. But sometimes you want to categorize and kind of put your keywords into themes. So we've got what's called basically I'm going to go into a larger search here. Let's see. Whoops. Okay. So I'm going to go into, let's say, English to Spanish. Okay. So this doesn't have the extra data, but this is mainly just an example of what happens when you want to categorize your keywords into different themes. Because you want to be able to understand what themes you want to structure your content, and sometimes even your website. So we've got a feature here that is a categorization button, which splits your whole entire keyword list. It must be hitting some button, the back button or something there. But we have a categorization button, which is called Group Keywords right here. It's got these little lines, and if you hover over it, it'll say Group Keywords. So if I click that, that'll basically group. It should group everything into keywords, into a theme. And nichebot is right now working on it, splitting up 1,000 keywords into groups. And as you can see, it was successfully grouped. And if we go in there now, we can see at a glance certain topics that emerge, like convert English into Spanish. That's a certain section of keywords. Dictionary English. What this is also really good for is when you're getting, say for instance, I don't know why this is doing this, but this is pretty frustrating. I must have a certain setting on this mouse that is going backwards using the back button. Anyways, what this can also be useful for is when you're working on getting backlinks to your site, basically you want to use not just 2 words in your backlinks. And the reason that is this. When you use only 2 words, you're only going to have basically 1 or 2 ways that the search engines can rank that particular keyword. Okay, so you could rank for convert English or convert or English convert. Obviously, the other way, the second way, doesn't really make sense. But when you use more than 2, 3 keywords in your backlinks, you have a combination of ways to rank in the search engine. So, for instance, convert English to Spanish. You could rank for, let's take even a longer version of that. We'll take convert English to Spanish online, okay? So you can actually rank for convert English, okay, which is the original example I gave for when you only use 2 words. You can rank for convert Spanish online. You could rank for convert English online. And this isn't going to happen right away because the shorter keywords are probably more competitive. 2, they're also not as focused. They're going to get traffic for you that is more research-driven traffic. It's not people that are more specific in their keyword searches like convert English to Spanish online. That is someone that actually knows what they want to do. Here's an even more specific one, convert English to Spanish in Word, okay? So this person knows exactly what they want, whereas if someone just typed in convert English, they're just looking for the beginning. They're starting off their research now. Now, obviously, I know people would not necessarily just search for convert English, but this is just an example of a short version of how people begin searching. So you can rank for the shorter keywords, and that's going to happen within time. That's not going to happen right away. Because if you just started off your website, it's going to take some time for you to gain reputation and for your domain to age over time with Google. And it's just like anything. Google at first, if you just launch a brand new site, whether it's you, me, or any expert or newbie, Google doesn't trust that website right away. They want to see that that person is going to put some valuable content, some unique content, and get some backlinks to that site. So they're not going to rank you right away on the shorter terms. That's why it's absolutely essential to go for the longer terms. And over time, you will rank for the shorter ones like convert English to Spanish. You may be able to rank for convert English to Spanish online quicker, because as we can see, we haven't actually gotten the competition for this. We can go ahead and get the competition for these particular words so we can see how many web pages there are available for some reason. I just don't know why. Whenever I scroll down with this mouse, it's like hitting the back button. Going to have to switch this mouse out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the competition data real quick for this, and we're going to go ahead and click OK, and nichebot will go to work and give us a quick understanding. Now, as we can see, convert English to Spanish online, only 136 pages. That means that there are really kind of around, this is an approximate figure because obviously, in your specific area, there's going to be different numbers of web pages than someone in Tokyo or Japan when they go to search for something in the search engines. But as a general rule of thumb, this is an approximate number of people or web pages that are actually targeting this specific keyword in the title tag. That doesn't necessarily mean that there are only 136 pages that have 136 web pages that have all these words anywhere on the page. We are specifically looking for words that have that are in the title tag of the page. And what I mean by that, for anyone who's newer to search engine optimization, if we go ahead and type in keyword database, we'll notice here, we'll see this is the title tag of a phrase. Now you notice nichebot does not have keyword database in its title tag. This is how basically Google organizes your search listings. You've got your title tag. They pull this off your web page, your URL of whatever page you're getting listed for. This is usually the description tag, a meta description tag. And if you have extra pages and you have sort of an authority type listing, you'll have these extra links at the bottom of your listing. But I wanted to just specifically show you, you'll see keyword databases here listed in the title tag of this particular website. So if we go to this person's website to WordStream, we'll see up at the top here, right here in the top tab, keyword database. And if we reveal this page source, let me go ahead and change the window that I'm looking at. So now we're looking at the source code of this particular page that we had just we were talking about. And as we can see here, this is the actual write-up stuff. Let's see here. Okay, here's the title tag, and as you can see, keyword database, learn to create, organize, manage your keywords. So basically, that's what it means when you see the competition So that's what I'm talking about when I say the competition there's 390 other competing web pages for this particular keyword. So for you to be able to rank for this specific key phrase, having only, say, 136 pages, it's reasonable for you to rank for that versus another site that has, 500, 1,000, and so on. So this is one of the reasons why you want to look for the lower competition keywords and go after those first, and then over time you're going to rank for these smaller keywords. So this is one of the reasons why this grouping keywords function comes very much in handy, because when you're actually you've decided on particular keywords that you're going to use in your website promotion, you can easily look at the multiple term phrases that you can use in your inbound keyword links, and that text that you put in your hyperlinks is called anchor text. So this is really helpful when it comes to looking for larger keyword phrases, and this is also helpful in splitting up your website into different topical categories. Okay, let's see. Convert English to Spanish, that could be a category in your website. We'll cancel that request. I didn't really ask for anything. Okay. We can, let's see, we can split it up into English dictionary. We can use another section in the website that talks about English sentences to Spanish. Let's see what else we've got here. Another one for English-Spanish translation. Depending on what your specific website is about, obviously, is going to be how you decide what to split your categories up into for a content-type website. Let's see. If you touch on the topic of French, then obviously English to French. Let's see what else we've got here. And also what can be done here is you can go from more broad topics to more specific topics, like we have English to Spanish dictionary. That could be a subtopic in a broad topic called in English to Spanish. So this is a great way to theme your entire website and set up a really sort of like top level content, and then your sub-relevant content in your website. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers the categorization topic button that we have recently added to nichebot. So let's go on to the other. One of the things we noticed, and we've actually kind of rearranged the menu here, because there was one particular tool, for instance, that I think was getting highly underused, and that was the ability to spy on your competitors. And this is not a new tool in any regard, but it's a highly underused tool. And I had recently actually spoken to a nichebot member about this on the phone, who told us that he got incredible value just from using this one particular tool. And it's called the SEMrush Total Espionage Tool. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to mainly enter a domain or a URL. You can enter a keyword, but that's not really what this tool is about, entering a specific keyword phrase. What you want to use this tool is to be able to spy on your competitors. And in particular is the way you get to spy on your competitors is you get to see exactly where they are positioned and where they are ranked for keywords within the top 2 pages. So from 0 to 20. So say for instance that your competitor, let's see, we can easily go find a competitor. I don't know why that is saying that the okay, for whatever reason this is saying it's paused. Okay, hopefully this isn't paused anymore, because I just looked at my console panel that told me it was paused. Okay, so just in case something that was lost in translation, we're talking about the SEMrush Total Espionage Tool, which allows you to look and glean into the keywords that your competitors are ranked for. So in order to find your competitors on any particular search engine, you can go to Google, whichever. And let's say we are looking at, we have the website about sewing, okay? This is Grandma's website, and she's selling sewing patterns. So let's see what kind of immediate favored keywords come up. So let's say we have a website, Granny has a website, and she's doing sewing patterns for kids, okay? So we hit the search button, and obviously it's already returned the stuff. So these are the relevant results. Let's see here. So these are the relevant results. And as we can see here, okay, we've got sewing patterns, but I'm looking for something that really kind of is more focused on a page that is focused for kids, because I want to get relevant keywords for this particular competitor. So here we have etsy.com/shop/sew sweet patterns. Okay, so I've gone ahead and copied this URL, and this is the one website we want to take a look at, or the web page. Now you can enter a domain name, or you could just enter a full URL, which is an internal page for a website, and this is actually an internal web page for a website because we're going into a particular shop, Sew Sweet Patterns and such. Now this is going to request, and we're looking obviously at the US database. We've got 7 other databases: UK, Russia, Denmark, France, Spain, Italy, and Brazil. But we're dealing right now with US. So I've entered a site that is in the top 10. We figure it's also going to be ranked for other keywords in the top 2 pages. So we're going to go ahead and hit search and see kind of what comes back. All right. So we see here that there are, wow, quite a lot of organic keywords. They are bidding, this website is bidding on 7,600 keywords in Google AdWords, which we're not really interested in. But we see here that they've got 626,000 organic keywords. Now this may be a little bit too much, because we're only going to be able to grab the top 1,000 keywords for their site. So we may what we want to do, because some of those 626,000 keywords is going to be a bit much. We can only dig 1,000 keywords into it. I'm thinking that what I needed to actually do, and this is my mistake because I usually end up just using a different tool that does sort of similarly the same thing. I think I needed to put in the HTTP so I could get the keywords that this particular page ranks for. So let's see if we get some different results here with the HTTP. And it looks like, hello. There I scrolled down with the mouse again, and it didn't do anything. It hit the back button again. Okay. So this looks like we're just getting sort of the same generic keywords. So what we want to do is take a look at a site. Let's try to find a site that's more focused on just kids stuff, because obviously we want to make sure to get keywords from a competitor that have to do with our topic. So let's see, allcrafts.net doesn't sound like it really relates. We don't want to get keywords from Amazon, because that is that's going to return millions of keywords for Amazon. Let's see here. Kids Sew. Okay, so they're in the top 2 pages. So let's go ahead and take their domain name, copy it, put it into the espionage tool here, and click search. All right, so they bring back 20 keywords, but these are 20 keywords that this particular focused website is listed for under Google, and they're obviously getting, conservatively speaking, this is a guessing number, 80 visitors a month. But these are 80 visitors that are searching for that particular keyword phrase. So this tool is really, really helpful at uncovering keywords that are incredibly focused and already getting existing traffic, rather than you looking at a database that tells you you're getting so many keywords, so many searches for a keyword, but you don't really know until you actually get ranked for that keyword. This tool gets you straight to the heart of finding keyword phrases that people are already positioned in front of. How useful is that? I mean, I think that's immensely useful. Okay, so let's move on to some additional changes that have taken place in the last few weeks, and see where we're going to start. Okay, so we have nichebot's all-in-one Google import tool. Now, even though we have a Google tool, it's called the Google Keywords tool here, which returns limited results. And then we have the Deep Dig tool, which is the Google Keyword Cruncher, and that returns 500 to up to 7,000 keywords in one search. But what we have here is the Google Keywords tool. That's great. But if you want to be able to do your research directly on Google with their own keyword tool, you can do that. And you can use their spreadsheet that you can download when you export your keywords from Google's keyword tool. Let's just go there real quick. By all means, you could go ahead and do that. So if you do your searches here, and then you save them by exporting them into a spreadsheet, CSV file, this shows you exactly how you want to be able to do that. Now, one of the things I have to say about the Google Keywords tool that I tell everyone is that the Google Keywords tool is specifically focused for advertisers of keywords on their AdWords, because this is really about Google making money. They don't give this keyword information away for free just because it comes from the bottom of the goodness of their heart. This is all about business. They want people to advertise on their site. So one of the things that's important to understand about this is that Google is only going to show keywords that have significant inventory. Those words that give you the larger phrases that have little traffic, little competition. You think Google's going to list that? Well, no, they don't want users bidding on those, keywords that only get 100, 200, 500 searches. They want people bidding on those 2-word phrases. So one of the big problems with this keyword tool is that you're not going to find the longer keyword phrases. You're going to find those using the word tracker keyword tool, okay, or the one-click LSI keywords tool, which gets keywords directly off of a website, the top 10, the top 10 websites in the search engine listing. So that's one of the downfalls with the Google AdWords tool. But if you want to use this for research, that's great. The only problem also, beyond what I had already mentioned, is the competition also is only going to show what the competition is like for people that are, how should I say, people that are currently advertising on Google. So it's not useful if you're looking to get free traffic. So you can do your research here, then you can import by using one of the functions. You can see here we give you instructions on how to choose the format. Choose either the first 2 options, CSV for Excel or CSV. You'll click this button here, and then if you are, there it goes again, hit the back button. Okay, so if you are using the Google AdWords tool and you're signed into your AdWords account, then you're going to be able to get 800 keywords, plus you're going to get extended data. So you have to, there are two different options here. If you get the extended data, you have to make sure to click that option in number A. Okay? And then you're going to input here, you're going to choose which type of CSV you downloaded, so you have to make a note of that mentally. And then if you're just going to want to import in the default order, which is recommended, that's fine. And here you can choose which type of search method you use, broad, phrase, exact, and which search number you want to import, whether it's global or local. So you've got the global monthly searches, and if you're doing more local search engine optimization, then you'll choose the local monthly searches. And then you can import. And you could do basically any type of research on Google's tool. It's great, and then you can import it right in. So that's that particular update that we just recently allowed. Now, we also have updated the keyword analysis tool. And we have two different keyword analysis tools. One is the SEO stress test, and then the multi-keyword analysis, which is just a version of the SEO stress test watered down for multiple keywords. So let's go ahead and real quickly look at the SEO stress test. So here we have this, we just put in, I like to use my favorite granny example, which is sewing patterns. And we're going to go ahead and all countries, all languages is fine, top 10 results. I'm going to include Majestic data so I can give you an example of all that stuff. I'm not going to get the Alexa data, which is you get the address of the website from the top 10 results and other data which we don't really need to get right now, just to show the example of this tool. So I'm going to run that. And like it says, right now nichebot is performing over 250 different searches to retrieve the data that's going to populate this keyword analysis chart. So it does take a little bit of time, about a minute and a half here. So we're going to wait on that for a sec. And usually during this time, I can always go do another type of search or take care of another type of project or loose ends that I haven't done, and then come back, and the results will be displayed right here on the screen. So it's working. Now what we've done here with this tool is we've gotten additional data. We used to get backlinks from a source on the search engines, but because the search engines have been shutting down all avenues for developers to get free research data, like the number of backlinks and so on and so forth. Like just recently, Yahoo shut down their Site Explorer to developers, and the Site Explorer allowed you to see the types of backlinks and allowed you to see the top 1,000 backlinks for a particular site. And they shut that down for developers, so we weren't able to get data from that anymore. And slowly but surely, Google has done a lot of shutting down of developers being able to get the data. So we have looked to other sources that are actually even better and more accurate than the search engines themselves. Because one of the things the search engines were doing was they were giving us developers a way to search their search engine, but it wasn't the same one that they were presenting to the public at yahoo.com or google.com or bing.com. It was some other one that they didn't update as often. So it's kind of a tricky thing that they were doing, and it kind of frustrated people with the inaccuracy. So oh my God, hit the back button again. Okay, hopefully this will populate the results. Okay, it's not going to. So sorry about this, folks. I don't know why my mouse is hitting the back button. But I'm going to have to obviously just use the click on the scroll bar here for scrolling down, up and down on the page. That's what you get for buying a cheap mouse off of eBay. But I needed one that had one of those old PS2. It wasn't a USB type of mouse. It was one of those old connections I needed because I use 2 computers on one monitor. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me here. All right, so that's being done. So as I was saying, we now are getting data from 2 particular sources. One of the sources is called Majestic SEO, which you can check them out at majesticseo.com. And then we're also getting data from SEO Moz, which is one of the best, most reputable search engine, really extensive, comprehensive search engine optimization services that allows you to do extensive analysis into backlinks, for a specific domain, for a specific keyword phrase. It really lets you hone down to the very core of backlinks. Now, the reason you want to use this tool, the SEO stress test tool, is used for the purpose of, and by golly, I'm not going to use my scroll option on my mouse here. We're just going to use the mouse click and pull the scroll bar down on the right side there. Okay. So the reason you want to use this tool is if you want to do deeper analysis into a specific keyword, like say sewing patterns, and you're not, because as we were looking at in the keyword briefcase, as we were looking at the competition, which shows us how many available web pages there are for a specific keyword phrase that has that keyword phrase in the title tag, that only shows us so much information of what really the top 10 sites consist of. It only gives us a single number. So if we want to deeper analyze what's going on with a particular keyword phrase and the top 10 sites that are ranking for it, we can find out whether we really have a chance to rank for a keyword. So we've added these numbers here in the middle from SEO Moz, which gives us backlink and page authority data. Okay, so we've also gone ahead and used a color chart, which gives us 3 different types of indicators. Gold means that we're golden, and the more gold you see, the better the possibility it is for you to rank for that specific keyword. Now, obviously, if you see the light blue, that means things are getting a little icy, and it may be a little bit more difficult for you to rank for that specific keyword. And if you see this purple, that means it's a real bruiser of a keyword, and it's likely that you're not going to be able to rank for this keyword for a considerable amount of time without, not without doing a considerable amount of backlinking work and such. Okay, so it's going to take a lot of website promotion with this purple stuff. But for the sake of this example, we're just going to go over the data. Okay, and what's really specifically great about this data is that these 2 columns right here, These are the two real key indicators, okay? This actually shows us how many backlinks there are to a specific page, okay? Now, obviously, this is a top-level domain name, sewingpatterns.com, so obviously it's going to have a lot of backlinks to that specific, to the main page. But if we look at other ones like allcrafts.net, sewing. What have you, it's an internal page. We see here that that specific page has 605 pages, 605 backlinks, my apology, pointing to that specific page. So B2POD means the number of external juice passing links, or backlinks to page outside domain. Okay, so that means it's not counting any internal links, because if we want to count also internal links that are pointing within the same site to the specific page in question right here, that will be this column, the B2P column, which is just backlinks to page. It counts internal links, which are using the keyword phrase that point back to the main phrase, the main page right here on this site only, and then it's also counting backlinks outside the domain. So this number is always going to be larger. So let's take a look at, okay, here's one on simplicity.com. And we notice here that it only has, to this internal page, the internal page is C-144-patterns.aspx, okay? But we notice here the backlinks to page is only 30. That means that there are only, any external backlinks pointing to this page, there are only 30 of them outside pointing in. But obviously there are a bunch of internal links within the site that point to this page in specific. So this number looks a little dramatic, while this one looks far more reasonable. And this shows us that, you know, maybe we can, with a little bit of backlinking effort, rank for this specific keyword phrase, sewing patterns. But let's take a look at some of the other factors that Google uses in their algorithm. We don't really care about Google PageRank because a lot of people do. That's why we include it. But Google says themselves to ignore PageRank. It doesn't really matter anymore. It doesn't matter much. But one of the things we do want to look at is age. Okay, so we'll see most of the sites in the top 10 results are domains that have been around for more than 10 years. Okay, so it could be highly likely that we're not going to rank for this particular keyword without having a domain that's going to be considerably aged. And by aged, I mean 2, 3 to 5 years old. Okay, then we may have a chance. But even still, considering the average age of these websites, it's really looking sort of glim, and the purple shows us, you know, it's quite a bruiser of a keyword. So that's what's really important here. So let's go over real quickly just the data right here within the SEO Moz data. So on a scale of 0 to 100, we get what's called the domain authority. Is this domain an authority in the eyes of the search engine? Obviously, Wikipedia right here has a 95.02. So that's pretty high for a domain. That's pretty high for a domain considering it's a scale from 0 to 100. And then we can take a look at all the other sites. For whatever reason, this particular site did not show up. It's probably the URL that has a, let's see, it's clotilde.com, list.html with a question mark, category ID equals 11. So there's probably some something in the URL that SEO Moz did not like and did not return any data. But for the most part, we can see on a scale of 0 to 100 what the domain authority level is for most of the sites. And most of them are at or close to 50. Then we have PA, which is page authority. You know, how authoritative is this specific page on the particular topic of sewing patterns for the keyword phrase. Then there's the Moz rank, which is an indicator from 0 to 10. So on the level of how important is this website on the particular topic. And so 0 to 10, obviously we can see the Moz rank here is not that very high for in Wikipedia, because in Wikipedia is an overall general site that has so many topics, millions of topics on various subjects. So obviously it's not very highly focused. So the sites here that are more focused, like sewing patterns, are going to be higher than, their Moz rank is going to be higher than Wikipedia. Then we have, of course, backlinks to page outside the domain and backlinks to page that's external and internal links. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this because we've covered this before, but we also have Majestic SEO data, which is extended data. And this is a different source. So don't be confused if you see that, it says the backlinks to domain outside the domain. That says it's 698. But this right here says this particular page has 1,614 backlinks to the page. Well, Majestic SEO is going to report different data than SEO Moz rank. And so SEO Moz rank, I'm going to tell you, is much more accurate and on the spot because they collect way more data than Majestic SEO. Okay, so we've got backlinks to domain outside the domain. We've got pages index, which this shows us how many pages the particular website has indexed. And most of them have a lot of pages indexed. And that means how many pages or web pages does this particular domain have in Google. Then we have RD, which is referring domains. How many actual domains are there? You know, excluding all the duplicate backlinks, because some backlinks coming to a particular domain could be duplicated a number of times on domains. So this shows us how many actual real domains in numbers, how many domains are there that actually refer or give backlinks to this particular site in total. Okay, then this really kind of gives us a true understanding of how authoritative a site can be. If a site has any .edu links, which are backlinks from a school or a college, they will show here. And if a site has any backlinks from a government agency, you'll see them here. And obviously, you can see most of the time it's very few and far between do people actually have edu links or .gov links. So this really gives you a very thorough, oops, there it goes again. This really gives you a very thorough, I should remember not to use that scrolling bar in the middle of my mouse. Okay. This gives you a very thorough understanding of exactly what the top 10 pages look like and how difficult it would be to really, truly rank. These are the true ranking factors that are taken into consideration. Now, we also have the tool, which is the multi-keyword analysis tool, which does give you a watered-down version of this. Basically, you'll get this column of data plus the Google page rank, and you're able to check multiple keywords at the same time. So you could check sewing patterns, you can check sewing patterns for kids, sewing patterns for adults. So you can check up to 10 words at a time. So you don't have to just wait for each and every time this to load one time. But the advantage here is you do get a lot more data, and you can save your search. So you can click this, and it will save this search to your Save Searches tab here. So we'll go ahead and save that search so I can recall it for a later period of time. You can also download this. You can download this to your computer as well, so you can have it on your computer. But if you want to look at this data in a quicker way, and as we can see, we've got two options here, quick search and regular search. One is going to take faster than the other. If you just need very limited data like backlinks to page and backlinks to domain, then by all means just do a quick search. But if you also want additional data like backlinks to page, backlinks to domain, backlinks to page outside the domain, and backlinks to domain outside the domain, then you could do this regular search, which is going to take twice as long, especially if you do 10 words at a time. But the advantage here, again, is that you're going to be able to look at 10 different keywords in comparison right here on the screen so that you can choose right away which keyword you're going to go after in your website promotion. This is not necessarily something you're going to use to create your content with. You're going to use a different set of factors. You can just look at the competition to see if you want to create a web page around that specific, or you could decide to use this if you want to consider how much backlink data a specific keyword phrase has. This will give you that determination, that data for determination. Okay, I think that's basically it for now, what we're going to cover. I've got a couple of extra things I want to discuss, but we are going into over an hour, and I've taken up a lot of time just explaining these tools. And I do have a couple of questions, but I'm going to hold off for now, and we'll cover those in the next session. So make sure to tune in for the next session, and we'll see you next time. And let's go ahead and wrap this show up. Now, every week Wednesday at 4 p.m., you want to tune in here, Pacific Standard Time, to overcome your obstacles and start having more breakthroughs, because really you deserve it. Obviously, you want to review the Quick Start Guide for your proper foundation, and be on the lookout for those new videos coming soon in the training center. And then you want to make sure to incorporate one way of building backlinks to your site, like we talked about in the beginning of the show. Jot down your questions and save them for the show. Very critical. And of course, you know, the biggest issue is decide. One of the things you want to make sure, if you're going to talk about your site, that's fine. Just realize we're in a group setting, and if you want to share your site, just decide whether you're going to share the URL with the group, or you're just going to keep it to yourself and just talk in sort of ambiguous terms. Also, very important is clarity. Explain your situation in detail with specifics so I can truly envision the problem. Because if I can't envision the problem, I'm only going to be able to give you general advice. Because the more information you give me in return, the more clarity I can give you back in return. And that's really what I'm here to do, is I'm here to help you move forward as fast as possible. So I want to thank everyone for showing up on today's nichebot live call-in show, and we'll make sure to see you here on the next show. Take care, everyone.